everybody, if you're enjoying Greek food, then I have the perfect movie night for you. Stay tuned, and I have all of the recipes and how-tos so that you can recreate a Greek-themed movie night to Disney's Hercules in your home. Stay tuned, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that coming up. Hey everybody, it's Bethany here again with Mommy's Movie Magic, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Bethany, and I recreate movie theme nights with dinner, drinks, snacks, and crafts, all themed with the movie that we're watching for that night. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you head down there below and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a movie night. I come out with one every single Friday, so make sure to check back to see all of my movie nights so that you can see how you can recreate it in your own home. This week, we are doing Disney's Hercules, which I have done this movie already in the past, and I loved this movie night. If you look at my blog on the About Me page, I'll include the link to that to the description bar down below. I have said in the About Me page that my favorite movie night to date has been Hercules. And why? Because the food is incredible. Greek gyros and baklava, Spanakopita. I could go on and on because Greek food is, to me, I personally think it's amazing. So if you're excited and you like to cook and you want to have a theme night to Hercules, this Greek themed movie night is perfect for you. So let's get into the menu. So for our movie night, we are having chicken gyros, Spanakopita. I have baklava for dessert. And for our drink, we are doing frappes, which I have an adult-friendly frappe, which has coffee in it. And you can also make that a little different by adding some Baileys or alcohol to it, which I'll go over later. And then also I have a kin-friendly drink, which has no coffee in it whatsoever. And I wasn't sure my kids were even gonna like it, and it was their absolute favorite part of the entire night. So let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's get into how-to on all of the recipes that I used for this evening right now. The first thing we have to do is prep our chicken. So I put my Greek yogurt already in a bowl where I added in my olive oil, lemon juice, red wine vinegar, and oregano, salt, and pepper, and garlic. So you want to mix up your marinade nice and good. And then you want to go ahead and get your chicken breasts and dice them up and put them in a Ziploc bag and throw in the marinade on top of it. You want to close it up and kind of mush it around to get everything covered in the marinade, and you want to refrigerate it for at least 4 hours. And when you're ready to make your gyros, you're going to go ahead and put your pan on the oven with a little bit of olive oil and go ahead and take your chicken out, and you're going to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, and then flip it over, do the same thing, and your chicken gyros are basically ready to go. Now going back a step a little, while your chicken is marinating, you want to prep your tzatziki sauce. So you want to get a big, long cucumber. You're going to cut it open and you're going to scrape out with a spoon the insides and all the seeds out from the cucumber. And you're going to do that to both ends of it until both of it is cleaned out. And you're going to take your cucumber and you're going to shred it using a cheese shredder. You're going to grate it up. Once your whole cucumber is grated, you're going to take a paper towel and you're going to put your cucumber inside the paper towel. Because what you want to do right now is get out all of the water from your cucumber. So you see just from cutting it how much water I got. So we're going to put it in a paper towel and we're going to squeeze out as much water as you possibly can. Once you squeeze all of the water out of your cucumber, you're going to combine it with the rest of your ingredients. I cut my tzatziki recipe in half because I knew I didn't need that much. So I added my Greek yogurt, my lemon juice, my garlic, and my salt and pepper. And you're going to mix it up and you're going to put it in the refrigerator for it to melt for at least 4 hours. Once your chicken and your tzatziki is ready to go, you're going to go ahead and put it all together. So you got your pita out, you're going to put your chicken down. I will put my tzatziki down first, and then I topped it off with some red onion, tomatoes, and some lettuce, and you have yourself the perfect gyro. So next we're gonna get ready for our Spanakopita, which I cooked up some fresh spinach and only cook a couple minutes for it to cook down and look nice and wilted and cooked. And then I set that aside and put in my onions in that same pan until they were cooked and translucent, which was another couple minutes. And I turned down the heat and I added in my green onions, dill, and my parsley, and I let that cook for about 30 more seconds until you can smell the dill really fresh. And now we're gonna go ahead and combine all of our ingredients together, which I had my spinach mixture and my onion mixture already in, where I added the egg, and then I added 4 ounces of feta cheese. It came in this nice 4-ounce package, so I could already just dropped it in. Again, I cut this recipe in half, so that's why I'm using 4 ounces of feta instead of the 8 in the original. And then I added some salt and pepper at the end and gave it a nice mix until everything was mixed together. So now we're assembling our Spanakopita. So I bought this phyllo dough. It's in the frozen section at the grocery store. It's so much easier to buy this pre-packaged phyllo. Phyllo is so paper thin, like tissue paper, that it's going to be very difficult to try to make it on your own, although you can do it. I never have, because this is much easier just to buy it prepped at the store. So I went ahead and took out 1 piece of my phyllo dough, and I'm going to take a brush with some melted butter, and you want to brush the entire piece of phyllo with your melted butter. And then you want to layer another layer on top of that and do the same thing and brush your phyllo. And now what you want to do is cut them into 3-inch pieces. So I measured at the top 3 inches across, 3 inches, and 3 inches, giving me 4 pieces. So we're going to take our filling and we're going to put it in the middle of our phyllo dough piece, and we're going to start rolling it up in a triangle and keep folding it until you get a big triangle piece like this. And then you're just going to keep continuing that through the process. Fill up your phyllo, roll it up into your triangles, and when you need the next piece of phyllo, make sure you bring out the 1 piece of phyllo, brush it with butter, take out the next piece and brush it. So you're going to have 2 layer thick. And then you're going to bake your Spanakopita at 375 for about 18 to 20 minutes until they're a nice golden brown color. We're gonna go ahead and make our baklava now. So I have the cinnamon and our crushed up walnuts, and we're going to combine those in a bowl and just mix it all up. So the first thing you want to do is take your melted butter with your brush and brush melted butter on the bottom of your pan so nothing sticks to it. And the next thing you want to do is take 2 sheets of your phyllo, and you want to put it at the very bottom of your 9x13 pan. It's going to crunch up a little on the sides, but that's okay because it just gives the baklava a little bit more crunch. And then you're going to brush the top of those 2 layers with some melted butter. And what you're going to do is continue doing that. Put down 2 sheets, brush it with butter until you have a total of 8 sheets for your bottom layer of your baklava. At this point in the recipe, whereas I started to change it a little, I put down 6 tablespoons of walnut mixture when the original recipe states 3, just because I prefer a little bit more crunch in that layer. So the next layer, we're going to put down 2 more sheets of our phyllo. We're going to brush the top of it with butter. And then put down another 6 tablespoons of our walnut. And you're going to continue with this process. Put down your 6 tablespoons of walnuts, your 2 layers of phyllo until you get to no more walnuts, when your top layer is going to end with another 8 layers of phyllo. Once all your layers are complete, you want to cut your baklava before you put it in the oven. Because what this allows is when we're finished, we're going to pour our honey syrup on top, and you need a way for it to seep into all of the pieces of your baklava. So before you even put it in the oven, make sure you cut it the way that you want to cut it, which normally is in triangle shapes. And then you want to bake it in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes until it's nice golden brown on top. So while your baklava is in the oven, we're gonna get our honey syrup ready. So we're gonna start with our cup of water and a cup of sugar, and we're gonna bring it to a boil on the stove, where then we're gonna add in our half a cup of honey and vanilla. And then I deviated from the recipe and I added in a half a teaspoon of cloves and 1 lemon zested. And we're gonna mix that up and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. When your baklava is done, pull it out on the stove, and we're going to take our syrup that we've simmered on the stove and we're gonna pour it all over on top of our baklava. It's gonna seep into all of those cracks that we cut prior to letting it bake, and you're gonna let it sit for about 20 minutes to let it get nice and hard and syrup everywhere in your baklava. We're gonna start with the adult frappe first. So I added in my 2 teaspoons of instant coffee, my tablespoon of water, and our 2 teaspoons of sugar. And we're going to take just that little amount and we're going to shake it up for about 30 seconds to a minute long until it gets nice and frothy and bubbly on top. When you're done, you're gonna pour it into a tall glass, and it's gonna seep out like this, like it's taking a very long time to come out of the glass. And once you have it in, you're then gonna top it off with your milk, and your frappe is done. Do you want a kid-friendly version? We're gonna leave out the coffee. So we're gonna start with some syrup. I added in caramel. We're gonna do also our 2 teaspoons of sugar. And we're gonna add in milk at this point, which I put in a cup of milk. And what we're gonna do is shake that up for another 30 seconds to a minute until that gets nice and frothy and foamy as well. And you have a frappe drink that has no caffeine, no coffee in it, and it's perfect for kids. They can feel like they're drinking a frappe right along with you. For our craft for this movie night, we decided to make our own Hercules medals. So I took this modeling clay that I found at Walmart in the craft section, and we molded them out into round little flat discs where I used toothpicks and a few things that I used for pedicures to help carve out the shape that I wanted for my medal. Livia decided to make her own design while I made mine look exactly like Hercules. So we used the tools and we carved out our designs, and we even used a little bit more of the clay and put a safety pin on the back so that we could wear our medals. And when it was dry, we let it sit out for a little while, and then I colored it with actually this paint pen from Sharpie, which is a gold color because I wanted mine to be a gold medal, obviously. And then I used a brown marker to color in the cuts that I've made into my medal so that it would stand out a little bit more and look exactly like the medal from Hercules. So how can you make this your own? My kids ate the chicken because I told them that it was chicken wraps, and they actually love chicken wraps. So that worked out really well in my favor. So use the foods and things that your kids will eat. My kids don't like cucumbers, but I know a ton of kids out there that do. So the cucumber tzatziki sauce will be probably a great thing for your kids, and they might eat it because of that flavoring. My kids love tomatoes, so they actually liked putting the tomatoes on top of the chicken gyro. So you can use lamb meat for the gyros, you can use chicken, whatever that's easier for you. I know they have kits at the grocery store that already have gyros in them. Use that as an easy way out. Also, I grew up in an area that had a lot of Greek restaurants. There were a lot of Greek people when I grew up, and they had fantastic food, which is where I got these ideas from. So find a Greek restaurant, order out, and you can have a fantastic movie night. I know I say that every single movie night because that is my easy suggestion for you. If you don't have time to cook, but you still want to have a fun movie night that's themed with your family, order out. There's no shame in it. Take the easy road out. My other suggestion on how to make things a little bit different, there are a lot of other desserts that you could choose. Baklava is the #1 that comes to mind when I think of Greek food, so that's the one that I chose. So if you need some other suggestions, ask me in the description bar down below and I can find something that maybe is a little more allergy friendly or something that's better for your family to use. And the last option I have is from the drink. The drink I put in it was caramel because my kids actually are not big chocolate fans. I know that's weird, but they are not huge on chocolate. So I used caramel and it worked out perfectly because every recipe I found actually had chocolate as the main ingredient for a kid-friendly frappe. And I knew that I could make it taste a little bit different if I put caramel in it. So change up the flavors, make it whatever you want, and I know you can make this for you and special for your family in your own home. All right, everybody, I think that's it for me here at Mommy's Movie Magic. Thanks again for joining me for another great movie night. So before you go, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Give me a big thumbs up and go check out all the rest of my movie night videos I have down below. And I will see you guys next time on another one of Mommy's Movie Magic Movie Nights.